So if you're thinking about starting your online coaching business and you want it to be profitable, then I'm here to give you the straight truth. Because when I started mine years ago, there's a lot of things I just wish I knew that no one talked about. And in this video, I want to cover those things. And I've made a list of about 7 of them. And I'm going to go through all the 7 things that I think that is very important for you to know if you want to start a profitable, a stress-free coaching business online that you're proud of. So if you're thinking about starting your online coaching business and you want it to be profitable, I'm here to give you the truth, because these are the things I wish I knew when I was first starting. And those are things that almost no one talks about, right? So, and now that I've built my business to a 6-figure and I help other people do as well, I want to give you things that you should watch out for and really mitigate before you get to the point that you're at the point of no return. I broke it down into 7 things, and I hope that this helps you in any way. This is extremely important, and if you get this, if you understand this, I promise you, you'll be 60% there in terms of making your marketing so much better and really attracting the people that you want to work with. So tip number 1, understand that what you're selling is not what they're buying. Okay, so what do I mean by that? You think that you're selling coaching. You go, oh, I'm a coach and I'm selling coaching. The problem is nobody buys coaching. No one wakes up in the morning and thinks, oh, I want to buy a coaching session today. That's not what they're buying. People want to buy a transformation. People want to buy an outcome. And that's exactly what you need to be selling. So instead of selling like coaching sessions, Zoom calls, and fancy worksheets, that's not what people are buying. Those things are the process to get to a specific outcome. So think about this. No one buys a fancy exercise workout or meal plans. What they really buy is that slimmer fit. They want to feel more confident. They want to fit into those pants. That's what they're really buying, the transformation. In other words, they're buying the future version of themselves. And now they hired you to guide them into that journey to become that person. That's what you're selling. Why is this so important? Because then if you continue to put emphasis on how many coaching sessions you have, or on your workbook, on all these features things, we call this in marketing features, and not focusing on the benefit of the feature, then people are never going to understand why they need to pay you in the first place. Because they're like, okay, coaching sessions, okay, fantastic, but for what? I mean, what is the outcome of all of this? What is going to be the outcome of this? To me, in my business, this was such an eye-opener, because once I understood that, hey, talk about the transformation. People want to buy the Bahamas. They want to buy the Paris. They don't want to buy, show up to the airport 3 hours earlier, go to the TCA, get search and all those things. Though that's the process. That's the boring stuff. Now, we have to sell the destination. And once you really understand that and interiorize that, you'll be able to then to position yourself as an authority, as someone that are their guide to get them there. Because that's exactly what they're buying. Tip number 2, charge high prices. In the beginning, a lot of coaches make the mistake of really underpricing themselves because they think, oh, if I don't charge that much, it'll be easier to get clients. If you've done that, you maybe have realized by now that that's just a lie. People are not just flocking into your services in your business and asking to have sessions with you because you're really underpriced. What I'm about to say might sound crazy, but I can promise you, it is easier to sell a $10,000 thing than a $100 thing. It's easier to sell a $10,000 coaching package than it is a $100 whatever you want to sell that is around the package, or 1 session or 3 sessions. It's much easier. I know it sounds crazy. Like, what, Sally? What, 10K? Who's gonna pay that? Ooh, I have a whole video that I show you exactly how to package, how to frame your offer, how to have a signature offer, but it's much easier to do that. Let me tell you something that one of my mentors told me early on. If you're cheap, no one believes you that you're good. But if you're good, no one expects you to be cheap. So pricing in itself already categorizes you where you are in the good or bad spectrum. Pricing itself is branding. Pricing itself is marketing. Pricing itself is positioning. And positioning is everything in marketing. Another thing about pricing cheap, if you're really cheap, you will attract people who are not serious about the transformation, right? They start asking you, okay, I'm going to pay $100, but what am I going to get for that? Like, what is it? What is exactly I'm going to get, And then they start really being either pestering you to deliver this world-class thing while they just pay you $100 for something. Whereas the person that pays you $10,000, if you show exactly the roadmap they're going to go through, they believe you. You're the expert. They leave you alone. They go, you know it. Take me through it. I just follow your lead. It's beautiful the way this happens. So I know that you have a little bit of limiting belief and this mindset shift that has to happen because you don't understand that you can charge these prices. And I've worked with so many coaches on this. And I think that this limiting belief comes from you not understanding the transformation that you're providing. Once you have that clear, once you understand exactly the type of transformation that you're providing for your clients, it will unlock. You'll be like, oh my God, of course I can charge 2,000, 5,000, 7,000 for this, right? I have a video that I'm gonna create, I'm gonna leave down below if I already did this, on how to put together a package that can charge 5K for it, because it will change your perspective. Once you understand the transformation that you're providing for someone and the type of support you're gonna give them, putting those price tags are gonna be like, ugh, girl, of course. And the people are gonna be, okay, I wanna work with you, let's do this. Tip number 3, I just wish I knew, and it's gonna sound very obvious, but deliver a world-class service, over-deliver, really knock them out of their feet with the service that you deliver. Make it unexpected. Why? Well, because you want to deliver good services, yes, but then also, yes, you're gonna do marketing, you're gonna do sales, but the best form of marketing is word of mouth. And also, word of mouth works both ways. It can be positive or negative. When you knock someone off their feet with the type of service that you have, they will not shut up about you. They will talk to everyone about your services, about the things that you do, how you're amazing. I can even tell you that I'm gonna start doing some golfing classes because I have a friend that cannot shut up about how amazing her coach is. And I'm like, I might just want to do golfing now because what is this? I want this experience, right? Understand this. The results they get to your clients are your marketing. So really go above and beyond, especially in the beginning. Go above and beyond and really deliver this amazing service for them. So they're gonna go out there and become this little mini sales and marketing agents for you that tell the world about your services. Tip number 4, whatever you do, master the art of sales. Now, sales conversation in the coaching world can be really difficult, especially because you're passionate about helping people, right? So when you get on one of those discovery calls, it's very tricky, very easy to, go into coaching and start telling people, and coaching them and things like that. Don't do that. That is not how you do it. And you might be thinking, oh, well, but if I give them a taste of what it's look like, maybe they'll sign up. If you've done that in the past, maybe you've already experienced that none of those people have signed up with you later on, right? Because it doesn't work. And I have a theory on why this doesn't work. I understand that it makes sense, right? Because you think like the Costco. If you give a free trial, people taste it, have a taste of it, and they'll like it, right? And then they'll come back for more. I did the same thing in the beginning. That's why I'm giving you these tips. They don't work. And maybe you've done that as well and you've seen it doesn't work. I have a theory. That works with physical products. For example, I have a yogurt here. If I taste the yogurt, this tastes good. I want more of it. Then I'm gonna go and buy. With service-based businesses, it's different, especially with coaching. If you coach someone for free, you know better than I do that people need more consistency. There's nothing they're gonna say on that 45-minute or 1-hour conversation that will revolutionize their life, right? It needs more, it needs continuation, it needs, at least 6, 7, or 12 sessions for them to see real results. The thing is that maybe one session, they're gonna feel really good about themselves, they're gonna feel rah, 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 and really energized, and they'll wear off, as it's naturally supposed to happen. And then maybe they'll start thinking, well, this coaching thing doesn't work. So you just position yourself into failure, right? By doing that. So free coaching calls, not a thing. The goal of your discovery call is to really understand their problem. There's 3 questions that you really want to ask. What problem do you have? What have you done in the past to solve that problem? Have you invested in the solution to fix this problem in the past? That's the 3 things you want to know. And then also I have a script of the different questions that you ask as well. Because what that tells you is that, okay, what problem do you have? And then you can analyze, are you in the best position to help them in guiding them to that problem, right? So the discovery call is only for you to understand, are you a good fit for one another? You ask him those qualifying questions and you go into this conversation that usually is 15 to 20 minutes long or even 30 minutes, just asking, kind of having a clarity, understanding exactly. Then you go into going, okay, awesome, Sarah, I understand exactly what you're going through. I understand exactly what you want to achieve. I think I'm the right person to help you. Do you want me to tell exactly how my program works? She says, yes, you go into your program. You show exactly what you do, the 3 steps and everything. And then you talk about the pricing. And that's it. There's no coaching involved. There's no do this, do that, whatever. There's nothing like that, right? So it's just really understanding, are you a good fit? So tip number 4 is really master sales calls. Master, really understand how to position, what to ask, how to ask. And if you want, I can do a video on this, go specifically the types of questions you want to ask, because this is going to differentiate and really take the stress out of sales as well. Because you start to understand the sales, It's really a conversation. You're just conversing. You're just talking to them, right? And once you understand that, and it's just really a conversation of understanding where those people are and if you're the right fit, then you see how much it'll be so much easier as well. And you're not gonna feel like a salesman or a saleswoman, you know. Now, tip number 5, have a blueprint. I just wish I knew this sooner. The trouble and the stress that I went into when I was trying to explain what I do was so hard before I had a framework. And I've seen a lot of my clients as well really succeeding at explaining what they do because they have a framework. In your coaching business, you need to have a framework. Tony Robbins, for example, I don't care how you feel about him, but he's built an entire coaching business empire, right? Just by frameworks. He has frameworks for everything and people just follow that framework, depending on the types of goals that they have. So here's what I want you to do. Build a framework, but very, very important. Make this a 3-step framework. You want to show that the goal that they want to achieve is simple, it's just not easy. That's why they need you, right, to guide you into that process. So you want the steps to be 3. For example, in my business, I have understand, build, and then scale. Easy. What I do, understand who you're talking to, what you're going to help them achieve, understand what is the goal they want to achieve, and what products and service you're going to sell to them, and then also understand the messaging. 1, that's what I help you do one-on-one. We go number 2, which is build. Build a funnel, build the systems, build the landing pages, email sequence, lead magnets, everything. That's number 2. Scale, how do we then scale that with ads? Simple, right? I just walk you through the 3 steps. It's easy, right? So not easy, but it's simple. 1, 2, 3. It's not easy, right? Because you need me to walk you through these things. Because even if I tell you, okay, you need to understand who you're talking to, what you're gonna help them achieve, what message, the angles and everything. I just told you all of that, but then how do you even go about to do that? So that's what you need. Make sure you have a 3-step framework. Now, here's the thing the majority of you guys gonna do. But Sally, it cannot be summed up into 3. If you have a 6-step or 12-step framework and you get onto those discovery calls and you start going into, okay, we're gonna do 1, 2, 3, and you start listing the 12 things you're gonna do, the only thing you're gonna be happening in that call is people are gonna feel like overwhelmed, like all these things are gonna happen, and they're gonna be, I have to think about it, okay, bye, ciao. That's all you're doing. Even if you have a 12-step thing, sum it up into 3 main components. Usually those 3, the frameworks, the 3 things, I like to give them the words of like verbs. Like as you see, understand, verb, build, scale, right? Understand can be understand or define or assess. And the building can be build, it can be create, it can be plan, right? So put it into chunks. So then when you explain to people, they see the simplicity of it, right? But also they see that, although it's simple, I don't know how to do this myself. So I need to understand exactly, I need someone to support me to this journey. This whole framework thing and this whole blueprint thing, I can tell you, it will serve you so much because now you can explain what you do. The whole framework as well will help you so much with content, right? Because under each pillar, you can have the different sessions that are gonna happen. So that way you can break it down. Okay, understand, then 4 or 5 or even 6 sessions, right? But then you have all of this really well done and neatly cleared and neatly done so you're able to communicate exactly what you do. And it's, again, simple. Now, tip number 6, continuing with the whole simplicity thing, keep it simple. That's tip number 6, keep it simple. You do not need a website. You do not need a logo. If I tell you that I got to my first 6-figure, I made my first $100,000 without a website. I had barely a landing page put together that explained barely what I did and had a little video in it. You don't need a website, you don't need a logo, you don't need branding colors, you don't need professional pictures. I mean, you have your phone, your 6-year-old, your niece, you don't even need a tripod. Put your phone somewhere and then take a picture. You don't need none of that. Stop spending money with things that are only bells and whistles and they're not actually things that are gonna bring you clients, right? So you don't need none of that. I can promise you, I'll promise you this with my life. Come closer. Let me promise you this. I can promise you, there's nobody in this world that will sign up for your coaching services because your logo is magenta and yellow. I can promise you that. There's nobody's gonna go, I really like to work with her because, her colors are just beautiful, or I love her website. No, it's not gonna happen. People are gonna work with you because they understand that you're the right person to guide them through the process, the transformation that they want to go through. That's it. And the better you are at communicating that, the better you're gonna be at landing clients. So do not, again, I'm gonna repeat myself over and over again, do not spend money on things like websites and logos and branding and colors and things like that. If you want to get fancy with that, use free Canva. Canva has a free, don't even buy the premium Canva. I really don't want you to spend money, but actually I don't want you to spend time, because the time you spend on fiddling with all of these things are the time they should be spending into honing in your message, into really understanding the problems of your target audience, into really understanding what the things you're afraid of, into really understanding the real deep down goals that they really want to achieve. That's what's going to give you money. Now, tip number 7, invest in education. The best money that you can spend on your business, the money that will have a higher ROI, return on investment, is the money that you spend in educating. The more you learn, the more you earn. The more you know how to do marketing, how to do sales, how to have the principles, the foundations that you know to have a successful business, the more you apply it and the more you earn. So forget about websites, forget about logos, invest in your education. I went through some years that I saw some kind of course workshop, I was buying, I was going in there, And one of the things that I learned later on is sometimes, there's ways that you can go into one side of the spectrum and just kind of go crazy with it, because I've seen people that just buy courses and buy things and don't even consume it. No, first of all, before you even start going to buying course, understand first where you are in your business. What is the next level of understanding that you need to have to get to the next thing? So for example, if you've been doing, let's say, cold outreach, or if you've been doing, let's say, Instagram to get a client here and there, but it's not yet optimized, then focus on what you need to learn to really optimize it and to really create it like a sales machine on your Instagram. Build from where you are. I see many people that do like, okay, I do Instagram here, but then now I want to learn LinkedIn. And then they haven't mastered this one thing and they want to go and jump to this other thing. Do not do that. One thing at a time. If you started with Instagram, let's say, just one thing, if you started with Instagram and then continue to do that until you kind of milk it, until you become the expert of Instagram. If you then started already building your business, but you see that you could be better at selling. If you see that you're having a lot of people saying, oh, I'll think about it, or I'll tell you later, or it's not for me. If you that's the bottleneck in your business, then figure out what in sales, what you need to do to make it better. And that's where you invest your money. Stop being distracted by the shiny objects. They're always around. I can tell you that's one of the, and you know what? Telling you from someone that's been through this journey and is continuing on this journey, the more you grow, the bigger the shiny objects become. So you have to really exercise the N word, the no. Say no to things. Oh, it becomes so hard. In the beginning, you think you're struggling with the N word right now, the no. Oh, oof, girl, oof, it gets so much harder, because the more you grow, the more you're like, oh, and now I have to learn this. This is an everyday battle that I have with myself, that I have to remind myself, nope, we do more of the same. Business at a certain level becomes a little boring. Not a little, actually very boring, because it's doing the same thing over and over again, because that's what works. But the problem with, as entrepreneurs, what get us here is not what it gonna keep us here. Because we're here because we like innovation, we like to do things new, we like to go after and everything like that. But then what gets us here is not what it's gonna keep us here. So at one point we need to stop and kind of just stay here, do the boring work, because that will steadily help us grow. Right? So it's very important that, I wish I just knew this sooner, because I wouldn't have spent so much money and time on things that did not bring so much, returns and things like that. But it's okay, we'll learn with it. And hopefully this is kind of helps you as well, kind of make sure that you don't do that. Now, I'm going to give you a bonus tip, next one. So here's the bonus tip. Master content creation. Now, if you want to build authority, if you want to nurture leads, if you want to have your pipeline full of new leads that want to work with you, so much so that you have like a waiting list. Imagine how cool it is. Imagine how amazing for your branding it is to have like a waiting list of like 2-3 months, that people have to wait to work with you. How amazing that would be. That comes from content creation. We live in a digital world right now. People are consumers of information on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok and everything. So you need to master content creation, whether you like it or not. And then listen, the content creation, when it comes to content, it doesn't mean it has to be video. It doesn't need to be this, right? If you're camera shy, if you don't really like to be on camera, fine, don't do video. There's 3 forms of content creation. So you can do video, you can do audio, so that's podcasts, that's audio files and things like that. And with written word, you can do blog posts, you can write newsletters. That can be form of creation. So, but really make sure that whatever you do, right, that's the one thing that it's never enough to invest in it, to really understand the story arc, really understand hooks formulation, really understand making offers, CTAs, call to actions, really understanding that and how that intertwines with creating powerful content and authority building content and engaging content and things like that. Master that, because not a single second they're going to spend on mastering content creation that is not going to have a positive ROI in your business. But now, if you want to learn how to build a $10,000 per month coaching business online this year, then watch this video, because I did it. I will walk you through step by step. I hope it helps.